If you haven't seen, over the past few months, I have been building my very own custom theme park in Planet Coaster 2. And as much as we built these massive rides and roller coasters, no episode is going to come close to this one. Well, newer episodes after this might, but not before this. Because today, not only am I going to be building a brand new roller coaster, and another brand new roller coaster, I will also be showing you a brand new little area I've made towards the front of the park, naming some of the rides that we missed off from last time, and also naming this theme park. It finally has a name after so long. But more importantly, after all of that, we will be opening the theme park for guests to enjoy and just see how they all react. I hope they like it and don't hate it, and I hope they all don't get stuck somewhere, because that won't be fun. But if you are excited for this episode and you do want to see future episodes when they release, then subscribe. It'd be massively appreciated. But either way, welcome to episode 10. I am so excited to get this episode started because, as I've already said, and I've also already welcomed you to the episode already. But as I already said, there is so much going to be happening. We're going to be naming some rides, building 2 new coasters, showing you an entire different area that I've constructed, and also opening and naming the park. Finally, I know a lot of people have been asking, when are you going to finally get a name for the park? I've been asking it myself as well. I don't really know why I haven't come up with one yet, but we're going to do it this episode, and along with that, a lot of people have been wanting me to open the park, so we're going to be doing that in this episode. And I'm excited to see what guests think of all the rides, what the most popular ride is, and whether they're going to ride this kiddie coaster right here. I don't know. But as you can see, very strange start to the episode considering we're going to open the park and everything. We're back in the Viking area. Of course, we did the whole Viking area, finished it off with the log flume, and then we went on to the steampunk. But we're going back to the Viking bit quickly, because we are time travelers, and this is actually episode 4. I'm only joking. Oh, what am I like? This is episode 10, and the reason why we've gone back is sort of what you can see on screen. You can probably put 2 and 2 together. It's a junior roller coaster, and the reason I'm doing this is because a lot of you guys have been saying in the comments that I haven't got enough junior rides in this park. So when I say junior rides, obviously, you've got the likes of Artemis, which is our multi-dimension family coaster. That's more a family coaster, like I said, because it has like a drop track, spoiler alert, and it also has quite a lot of large drops and turns, whereas this sort of ride that I'm building now doesn't really have any of that, and it's more of a kids coaster. We have the whirly rig in the Greek area, that's more of a kids ride as well. The steampunk area doesn't really have any kids rides, unless you count the Zamperla Nebulas. But again, I don't think that's really a kids ride, it's more of a family ride. So I thought, why not make a junior coaster here? The coaster I go on to build for the brand new small area at the front of the park, that's also quite junior, but not as much as this one. It does a bit more. It's more like Runaway Mine Train and Flying Fish, that sort of level. So I thought, with your guys' suggestions, we need that in this park because, well, this unnamed park is catering for all audiences. And when I say this unnamed park, it's not going to be unnamed soon because we're going to give it that name. And I'm very excited. The name is one of my names suggestions. I know I said that you guys can suggest some names if you want, but obviously there's a lot of rides in this park that literally, well, every single one is going to be named by you guys. So I thought, you know what, the theme park, why don't I name it? I mean, it's probably going to be an awful name compared to some of your guys' suggestions, but I'm happy with it. I like it. And I think it suits the sort of vibe of the park quite well. But here we go, some netting going in underneath the track to sort of stop loose belongings, I guess, even though you, again, shouldn't have them. Policing that massively in this park without our security staff, because for some reason they're not in the game when they were in Planet Coaster 1. But yeah, not allowed loose belongings. I'm going to go back and put some lockers around, or maybe like some baggage holds and stuff like that, because no, it's not good enough. I'm acting like this is real life. What am I on about? But those baggage holds and lockers that I mentioned, they're a very small part of things I do need to go back and sort out. I mean, I've gone back and done quite a few of them already. You got like the steampunk area, Ratchet and Clank, those Zamperla Nebulas. I said that I was going to make them orange and grey to fit that theme. I have gone and done that now, and I'll show you that later. I've also been doing some work on some of the station buildings. I realised Valkyrie, which is the B&M invert, that doesn't really have a great station on the inside, so I went back and did that. There's quite a few things that I have done off camera, including the brand new area at the front of the park. Yeah, I realised towards the end of me building that area that I hadn't clicked record. That's just typical me, innit? I'm pretty sure I've done this already in this series. I used to do it with the recreations. I used to sit there and go, oh, I haven't clicked record on this bit. And it's like something major that I've built, like an entire section of the recreation, or in this case, you know, like the steampunk area, I didn't film any of the walls when I was building them, and that's pretty much half the area in itself, those walls. And I know a few of you guys did want to see that build process, but it's genuinely just my stupidity, and that's why I didn't film it. So I sincerely apologise for if that's happened multiple times throughout the series, which I know it has, and it's gonna happen again today. But luckily, with that area, 2 rides are in it, one of which is a very, very small ride, and the other one is a coaster that you will see fully built anyway. You can get a good grasp of what the theme is already from one of the buildings I've already built that you'll see in that time-lapse when it comes up. And yeah, it's a lot of plants and sort of just nice looking fountains and lakes. It's not too much of a building, you know, area. So that's good. This is more of a building area. The one coaster I decided to film the whole thing of was the junior coaster, but I guess it didn't take too long. There you go. That's just, I'm an idiot. But moving swiftly over to the front entrance of the park now. If you're wondering where that Viking coaster was, I'll show you fully in a bit. But it was pretty much, there was this section next to the log flumes exit that was just landscaping and trees. And it was a massive hill that just looked so, like, random. And I really wanted to put something there from the very beginning. I wanted to put a flat ride, something like that. So to put a junior coaster there, I think was perfect. But we're now moving to the front entrance. Stop talking about the Vikings, you! Because we are building the gift shop. Yes, this isn't the area yet. That'll come in just a minute. But this is the gift shop. I was thinking about what real life parks do, as you would with any realistic park you're trying to make. And I thought, what do they all have towards the entrance? I can't just leave this massive area as just another coaster or something, because it's way too close to that entrance. So I decided to build a lovely gift shop. I mean, most parks in the world, if not all of them, have some sort of main gift shop as you leave the park, as you enter, very close to the entrance. Never really have a main gift shop elsewhere in the park, because obviously your main traffic flow of guests is from the front entrance. And when they exit and enter, they're going to see that gift shop and go, I really enjoy my day, or I'm about to enjoy my day. Let's buy merch. So that's where I'm sticking this gift shop. I'm really happy with the placement of it. It's very much following the similar vibe of that entrance building. It's going to have another sort of tower pillar in the centre. I think I do probably copy paste it over from the entrance to keep that fluidity of those vibes. I don't know why I worded it like that, but you get what I mean. It's a lot of the white sort of modern, sleek, Greek-esque style. It's sort of Greek, but at the same time not. I saw a few comments saying about that I should probably change the entrance because, you know, the park has evolved so much. Why am I just looking at guest services? What's wrong with me? But I saw a lot of comments saying the entrance might need to be changed because of that Greek style and how we've gone to Viking, steampunk, and soon to be some more, but I'll talk about that later. But I decided to keep it the same, and the reason for that is because it wasn't supposed to be a Greek entrance anyway. It was supposed to be just a grand modern looking entrance that could transition well into a proper Greek area like it has with Olympus. And I think it works nicely, as does this gift shop, and I think I won't be changing it because I like that sort of, you know, architecture. That's the word. I like that sort of style and the way it's been put up. Right at the front of the entrance compared to all the nature and everything, it just looks really grand. And when you walk up to it, I want people to think, you know what, that is an entrance. So I think overlaying some other themes might make it look strange. But I appreciate the suggestions nonetheless. And here we go into an area that I've been wanting to build at the front of this park since I made that entrance. It was probably going to be one of the first things I build, but then just the whole Greek area took over and I just got too excited with that. So this is an area, I have a sort of theme for it. It's like an ethereal garden style, or if you want to take my inspiration properly, Celestial Park at Epic Universe. What a surprise. But that area literally has loads of these glass dome shapes, and they look really grand, like the entrance of my park. So I thought I'd take some inspiration. Doesn't look exactly the same, but quite similar. And this is a Mack powered coaster. So when I say that it's, I want a coaster similar to Runaway Mine Train, this is literally Runaway Mine Train, just a little bit longer, or it might be shorter actually. I don't know, but either way, it's got a lot of helixes, not too much of like airtime and stuff. It's very much still a kid's coaster, but it's that bridge to the family coaster, I think, unlike the Dragon Coaster, which we will name in this episode, along with the steampunk area and a few other things. Colouring the ride here, a nice yellow and white, not Hyperia, and we're now going to actually cut into real time because that is all I filmed. Yeah, let's just go in real time. And here we are in the park. As you can see, all the different rides are testing. Talos is going around in the background. We've got some other coasters going too. As you can see, the Inver, Valkyrie, and some other flat rides too. But this is all to open the park in a bit. We're testing the rides, making sure it's ready to open. But before we open the park, I need to look at the things that I've already worked on in this episode, including the gift shop over here. I've called it the Emporium. If anyone has any name suggestions instead of Emporium, then please do tell. But of course, it's following a similar vibe to the entrance building, and it's got this blue wall up at the moment because it's still being worked on. Like all theme parks do, they put ugly construction walls up. I've done the same. As we make our way over here, we'll get back to that area in just a moment. I've actually worked a lot on the front entrance for the steampunk area, and we've given it a name now. And the name I have chosen is, of course, one of your guys' names, and that is Industria. And that name was suggested by Nanuko 2006. And as much as you sort of can't read the full thing from all angles, I thought I'd put it on this sort of round-shaped metal thing that doesn't touch the floor. See, this is why I do these walkarounds, because I notice stupid things like that. But Industria is a very cool name, and I thought it suited the area quite well because, of course, you walk underneath this building here, and you walk straight in to the steampunk-themed land. There you go. I think that's a really nice transition, and I need to talk about the viewpoints from outside, because even from really far away, as much as my graphics aren't turned up to the max, you can see, of course, the transitioning buildings from sort of the Greek modern look to the steampunk and over to the Viking, but you can see the spike of Viva, but you cannot see Cognition, the tilt coaster, at all. And even from the Viking area, I remember building a lot on this viewpoint and sort of trying to make it work properly. You cannot see over it and actually see that tilt coaster until you walk into the area in which you then can. And as much as you can see Viva, I don't care. The fact that I've managed to hide that coaster right there, I'm so happy with it. But whilst we are in this Viking area, this area seems a lot more open up now because of this junior coaster right over here. Now, obviously, I haven't built this in a previous episode, so what I did, instead of, you know, in this episode making a big thing of, go on guys, name this kiddie coaster, I decided I would put it on my Instagram story and ask you guys what names you could think of. And there was one name that was suggested by a few people that I really liked, and that was Drakkar. I think it literally means dragon or something along those lines in Norse, and it was suggested, like I said, by a few people: JS Clancy 03, Norian Woodhead, and JP.Lu. So thank you for that suggestion, and I really do appreciate it. I like that name. I think it suits the coaster quite well. And yeah, it literally goes up a lift hill, round, does a little S-curve, a little airtime hill that barely gives you any airtime, turns round there and goes into another hill into the station. It's a 2-lap special as well. Oh my god. And now you can really see where that fits in. I would POV it, but I feel like, yeah, let me POV it actually. And here we go then, up the lift hill. Very quick lift that is. And this will turn around into a new area. So it's not going to be too far away from the Viking theme, so we'll still get away with it. But that will be done very soon. Into that S-curve, little hill, and round into the final hill that takes you into the station. I told you, it's the shortest coaster ever. But like you guys were suggesting, we did need some more kids rides in the park, so I think this one is perfect to do that. But if we transport ourselves back to the main area from Storstheim, our Viking area, you can now turn around and see this area here. You can see I used a lot of the same sort of dome shapes, a lot of rocks and waterfalls, and a lot of rose bushes. as well. And in this area, of course, as you saw, I built a Mack powered coaster, a lot like Runaway Mine Train and sort of like Flying Fish, just a little bit more extravagant than Flying Fish. You got the rotating sign of the shop up there, and of course the coaster going around. This coaster does not have a name or a proper theme yet, so that's why the train is very plain, and also the fact that there's no entrance sign up there. So if you do want to come up with a name for this ride, then comment it down below, along with a name for this carousel here. It's like an indoor carousel under one of these domes, and you can actually go in and see the whole thing. Ignore that, I'm experimenting for a new area. But yeah, you can go into this dome and have a look at that carousel going round. So again, any names for that one and that coaster over there, please do comment them. But other than this station area and that name and theme for the train, this coaster is pretty much done, so I'm going to POV it for you. Like I said, of course, this is a Mack powered coaster, and because of the layout's not very long, it is a 2-lap special. But here we go, quite a quick acceleration off the bat, some nice fountains in the centre of that helix. And then round again into another helix. This is a very much turn-based ride, not really airtime other than maybe that bit there. Going round there. This is where it picks up quite a bit of speed, actually. I thought I'd make it a bit faster than most powered coasters, you know, make it a bit more thrilling. And we go around this nice little pond there. As you can see, this is one of those coasters, oh, lag spike, this is one of those coasters that does go out to the car park and sort of, you know, has a swoop around quickly where you can see the car park, and you'll be able to see the coaster from there as well. But yeah, I'll give you a proper view of that now. Whoa, it's going super fast! But yeah, you can see the car park right there, and it has been fenced off. But yeah, I mean, I'm not too fussed about that, I don't think, because I think a lot of parks do have some sort of ride that does go near the car park. I mean, some of them literally build roller coasters on car parks, but it's a bit like Galactica, you know, you don't really lose too much of the theme by just swooping around 1 or 2 seconds by the car park. So I think it's fine, especially because this area doesn't have too much of a theme. It's just supposed to look nice. And now over here is the pathway that will lead to another area over here. But with that being said, we have named the rides that we have built. I've showed you everything I've built. It's time to name the theme park and open it, obviously. Of course, with this theme park, we have built so many different themed areas already. We have the Greek themed area over here. We have Steampunk of Industria. Of course, that Greek one's called Olympus. And then the Viking area of Storstheim over here. Obviously, that's a lot of different themes, and we're sort of adventuring between different worlds, if that makes sense. And even with this one here, it just looks really nice, you know, and in the future as well, we're going to have so many different areas and different themes coming. So when I was thinking of a name for this park, there was actually a theme park that I designed a very, very long time ago when I first got Planet Coaster, and it had this roller coaster in it called Wave Rider, and it was just an intimate multi-launch type thing. And I didn't really finish that park at all, to the point where I literally built that one ride and that was it. But I think the name that I gave that park suits this park even more, and I'm really happy with it actually, because I'm going to be naming this theme park Isle of Discovery. Now, I don't know about you, obviously you might have a completely different opinion to me and think it's an awful name, but considering you walk into that park and it's very sort of, not tropical, but it has that similar vibe with the massive lake in the centre and all these different themed areas around that you can sort of venture through. It is literally an Isle of Discovery. And I also think that name doesn't mismatch with the entrance at all, and I'm happy with that name, I think. But yeah, from now on, it is called Isle of Discovery, and I think we need to open the park now to guests so they can experience the Isle of Discovery. And I also should rename this right here, Isle of Discovery. There we go. Feels weird giving it a name, I can't lie. If we go into the attractions page, we can then open up every single ride in the park, including the unnamed ones. All of these, and yeah, that's all of the coasters open in the park. None of them should be running around. There's probably some that are stuck on their mid-course brake runs, like this one. And I just got an achievement for building a 3-star park, so not a 5-star one. Thanks, Planet Coaster. But if I click open park right here, we should have loads of guests spawning in and walking out of these buses. Right. Yeah, you're walking the right way. Why is everyone just... You know when you just get off a bus through the corner of the back side of it? But here we go then, through the metal detectors right there, the security queues, and they're going to enter the park. This is exciting, you know. I'm intrigued to see what the most popular rides are, because I would assume it might be Talos because it's the closest to the entrance, but it could be Cognition because it's like the craziest one with that tilt. It could just be the log flume, or maybe even like the magic carpet or something. I don't know. So I'm looking forward to seeing what people think. And look, this is going to be the first person to come in our park. What's their name? Angeline Trotter. That is not a trot, they're running for it. And here we go, we have our first few guests in the park. I do like how some of them are walking off that way, some are walking that way. I do like that. And here come the massive flow of guests. There you go. Got a massive horde of them now. And hopefully, over the next few minutes, we should get even more. Some of them are even walking down this way to go in. Incredible stuff. Comment down below what ride you'd go to first if this park just opened. Yeah, I think one thing I do probably need to work on is like making barriers between certain places, because as you can see, people are walking through this pipe, they're walking through these fences down here. You know when you've just opened your park and half your staff are just sitting in the middle of a fence? People are loving Olympus ice cream. Priority pass isn't worth that much to me, fair enough. Needs something to do. There is so much to do. What are you on about? Wish they had a pool. Coming soon. We got some riders on the new junior coaster. That's lovely. And then over, what's the other coaster saying? Is that, oh god, look at that lag. Is the other coaster? Oh, it's got a full train. Oh my god, I'm going to POV this. I want to see what they think. I think they're going to do a lot of ducking. Yep, there we go. They're not even anywhere near a head chopper and they're ducking. And again, what's going on? There's a lot of people enjoying it further back. I mean, when I ride a roller coaster, I don't really stick my hands up for 0.2 seconds and then put them back down again. And we go near the car park. Oh, almost hitting a tree. Ah, put your hands down, guys. They're going to do it again in a second. Yeah, there we go. It's like a domino effect throughout the entire train, isn't it? But no, that doesn't surprise me because this coaster is obviously literally right next to the entrance. So to have a longer queue makes a lot of sense. Pretty much a full train other than one of the back seats. Everyone's enjoying that there. Love that. What are people thinking to our first ever coaster in the park, Talos? Looking like they're enjoying it. Ignore the front of the train. I don't know what I was doing. Yeah, they're enjoying it. Some inversions. Oh, we're ducking again. They love to duck down when there's nothing near them. We've got a full cycle on Poseidon. Love that. They'll probably get soaked in a second. They're already getting soaked. And here we go. Wow. Do they react? No. But yeah, the park will be even more dispersed out eventually because we're going to have the water park that will be open at a separate gate over here in this corner. I think I've probably saved way too much space for it, but oh well. And eventually as well over in these two sections here. This might end up being one big area or it might end up being two smaller areas. I'm not too sure yet, but again, if you have any suggestions on what you want to see in these areas, then please leave them down below. You can sort of get a good idea of one of the themes I'm thinking of via that. But yeah, it's been really nice to open this park and see all the different rides running and, you know, seeing the guests' reactions to even the new area and everything. I'm loving this series so much, and I hope you guys are too, because there's going to be many more episodes to come. And to be fair, I think we're only a few more areas on top of them two away from completing this park. But talking of that, in the next episode, I will be building one of those two areas over there, and then following that, I will be starting my water park. I have some crazy ideas of what I'm going to do in that water park, so subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of this park, because it's going to get even more exciting here at Isle of Discovery. Thanks for watching.